It's too far forward. I didn't mean for that to be. I wasn't trying to make a wise card.
I gotta tell you, it's really offensive. People going by. What can I say?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Shoot, I forgot Rick is coming.
So that would indicate he didn't understand.
Oh, tonight you said? Oh boy.
Can you hear me? Oh, yes. Harump. I didn't get a harump out of you. Harump. Anybody give me a harump back there? Harump. Well done. That was a group harump. We're going to be a little late, but this is going to be an audience participation song, and so we can use this time for you to practice your part. So, it's going to go something like this. This is I'll say it again when we get closer. Yeah, I won't tell you who it's by yet, but it's about taking a train ride to the other side. And so you got a really hard thing. You got to remember 3 words in English. England. 对不起，我不会说中文，但是我爱中国。Taiwan. Okay, so everybody can say these 3 words. I'm going to tell you what they are. The first word is ride, like ride a train. Everybody say ride. Ride. Good job. Wow. Cohesive group. Second word is that. Say that. That. Third word, if you might have guessed, is train. Say train. Now say ride that train. Now say it faster. Ride that train. Good. And when we get to at the end of the song, it's going to slow down a little bit. I'm going to rehearse you again before we go. So this is your first rehearsal. But when we get to the end of the song, first it's going to slow down, and then it's going to start building up. And then I'm going to say, you ready? And then we're going to do, and I'm going to start singing back here with the background singers. Sorry, translators. And then when I point the mic at you, that's your chance, and it's going to be fast. I'm going to say, you need to say it basically in the same tempo as me. So it's going to go, ride that train! Ride that train! Ride that train! Ride that I have that effect on technology. Okay, one more time. Ride that train! 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 Now, no matter what I say after that point, And no matter what I say after that, thank you. No matter what after I say after that point, when I point the mic at you, you just say ride that train. Gonna buy me a ticket. Buy me a ticket. Buy me a ticket. Good job. All right. Good job, troops.
Yeah, but he needs a longer one. Yeah, do you have one, Joel?
Woo! Yeah! Oh! Who made that scream in the back there? Do that again. Good. Keep doing that. When the song's going on, you got to do more of that. We can't do anything without our pianist. Piano player. Well, it'll increase the chance of feedback. Does that help at all, Michael? Does it help? Does it help? Well, that's pointing right at me. Oh! I guess it's not going to feed back. Does that help you? 2 train tickets and 2. Liv was in the penalty box. She was bad.
Testing. Tut, tut. Tut, tut, tut.
Still waiting for our pianist.
Tut, tut, tut.
Piano player, that is.
Test, 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 test. Test, test. Train ride.
Oh, yeah. Whoa, you were paying attention. Well done.
Test.
Okay, let's do a little rehearsal again while we got a moment. So once again, it's going to be ride that train, ride that train, faster, ride that train, ride that train faster, ride that train, buy me a ticket, buy me a ticket. What you gonna do? When you gonna go? Ride that train. Good job, troops. Well done.
Or just beside.
Can you?
Well, there's a little round of applause for our wild band of 60s singers here. A little round of applause. That's what I'm talking about. seller's joke. Let me hear some rock and roll fan screams out there. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There should be a little bit of, body throwing. Good. That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, Geshe Michael Roach! Nick LaShaw! Tyrone! Michael on the drums! Rick Seawig on the piano keyboards! And the psychedelic singers all the way from Los Angeles! Got really quiet. Yeah, how can I help you, Rick? Hey, Joel, you got any more microphones back there? That maybe put the wireless on the piano amp? Never mind. It's the piano I was worried about. You can use your cans so you can actually mix it. That's great. Can you put some tiny bit of reverb in this? Do you have the capability? Forget about it. Who did that? Do it again! Yeah! All right, let them hear you all the way down in Bowie. All the way in Tucson. Have we tested those, the chorus microphones? Those should be up really loud. Can you guys test those?
Test.
Much louder.
Test. Can you? Yeah?
More.
A little more?
Outer Bay.
A little more. Okay. Test.
Yeah, you back off from it because that's where you're really going to be. So, any more gain you can get out of those guys over there? Without feedback? Woo! Okay, you got enough. This is a song by Joe Cocker. It's a, yeah, let me hear it. We'll try it. Whoa. Okay, you guys ready? One more time. This is a song by Joe Cocker. Song by Joseph Coquer. Monsieur Coquer. And it's about riding a train all the way to the other side. Are you ready? As you like, how you feeling there, Senor Suik? Get ready.
Take
passport, this got railway. Please don't fail to pay. Hey, I'm gonna ride, I'm gonna justify. Give my soul just my mind. Good day, Hitchcock Railway. Conductor's coming. You better start running. Hold it through now. Yes, man, give me a good time. Good day, Hitchcock Railway. Please hold on. Wow, somebody take a train ride. Nicholas Shaw. Tickets into LA, one round trip the other way. Oh, I get the feeling when the river falls. I get the feeling when the river falls. It's just too late. Take it and sail away. Hitchcock Railway, made for comfort. Guaranteed passport, Hitchcock Railway. Please don't fail to pay. Hey, I'm gonna ride, gonna testify. Get my soul, get my good day, Hitchcock Railway. Oh, I'm gonna take the same way home. Here we go. I'm gonna buy me a ticket at a station. Gonna go on a train tonight. On that train tonight.
On a train ride.
We're up on that train tonight.
On a train ride.
We're up on that train tonight. I might go insane tonight. Don't bother me now no more, Lord. Don't bother me now, oh mama, oh Lord. Don't bother me now, no Lord. Don't bring me down no more. Wanna buy me a ticket, buy me a ticket. Ready? Wanna buy me a ticket, buy me a ticket.
get some offering ready. Just to get some offering ready for Friday. Okay. We've thought about it very carefully, and it doesn't seem safe tonight to do a fire offering because of the wind. This is very dry, our area, not like Shanghai. So we'll try to do the fire offering tomorrow night. Okay. Yeah, we'll still be making the offerings today, so if you promise to help Chunzom, please help with those. Because Joe Cocker Vasek came today, we're starting the class late, so we're going to go a little bit more, okay? So we'll go till 4:30, 4:40, something like that, okay? Then we'll have a class tonight at 7 o'clock. Okay, so be here at 7 o'clock. And we'll stop this class around 4:30 or something. Then after this class, if you can help Chunzom, that would be nice, okay? At 7 o'clock, we'll do a special offering to the local spirit and ask them to calm down a little bit. Okay? All right, so, but be here at 7 o'clock, okay? If you're in the other band, please go to Kasida 4:30, if you're in the other band. If you didn't get enough exercise carrying your drums around, you can do it again. Okay, all right. All right, then. Pelma, Lama Pelma, you want to do this? Sashi?
Suci
we were talking about 6 special qualities of the 3 jewels. And we reached the 3rd one. And it means Murpe Kepar. You got that? Okay. Okay. So when you take refuge, you can have 3 different thoughts about those jewels. This jewel, for those of you studying Tibetan, doesn't mean liberate, it means to cross over. What's the Sanskrit? Tara, yeah. So when you are trying to cross over a large body of water like the Pacific Ocean and go from San Francisco to Shanghai, Drupatang, you need a captain of the ship who knows how to drive it. Go Drutang, and you need a ship. And Nyamdadoi Droktar, and you need people to go with you to help you get there. And then we can think of Sangeni Chipada Nyanko Chawa. Now the next sentence is very important. Sangeni Chipada Nyanko Chawa. Your relationship to the Buddha. Who's that in this metaphor? Yeah, your relationship to the captain should be Chipada Nyanko. Make offerings, bribe them to take you on the boat, get you across, okay? That's what we do with the captain. But in this case, the Dharma is not a person. Here's where he says, the Dharma is something to be achieved inside of you, okay? So the first jewel, you're making offerings to a person, a being. The second jewel is something you have to find inside of you, something you have to plant inside of you. Understanding emptiness, right? Third jewel, Gendendang, Sushindu Dopa Mabo. And then the third jewel is people you want to be friends with who are people who remember seeds all the time. You want to hang out with people like that, okay? To reinforce what you know. Okay. Drupe Kepani, De Sum Laklen La Shulwa. Shulwa is a beautiful verb in Tibetan. It means surrender your soul to these 3, okay? To practicing those 3, okay? Offering to the Buddha, trying to get the Dharma inside of you, and then choosing wisely with your friends, okay? And make it your heart's work, make it your life's work to do that. That's called shulwa, yeah?
So the metaphor of the thing inside of you, that's the ship?
It's the ship, yeah, the ship is inside of you. That's pretty cool. Think about them. Sangye recite the sutra that starts with that sutra. That's how you should think of these 3 jewels. Do jike sumbashin, koinjoki yunten chambayin. Then just think about how cool they are, okay? And that's how we should think of them when we're alone, when we're on a bus, when we're driving, you know, when you have a quiet moment. Then just think of how cool they are, especially the Buddha, and that's the sutra I gave you. So if you want to, you know, when I have stuff that I want to remember, I just put it up on my computer and I take a picture of it. And then it's on my phone. When I want to read that sutra, I can read it, yeah. Okay? It doesn't take much space on your phone. This is a little too hot. The mic's a little too hot. The mic is too hot. Yeah, okay. All right. So I taught you that sutra. I taught you what it means. I'm going to skip through that. Somebody should translate the commentary. Yikes. Okay. 6th quality. Sunam Pawale Gyurwe Kepani Sangini Kansa Chikna Tene Sunapa. How do these 3 jewels act to multiply our good karma? Sangye ni kasachi la tene sunam pewa. With regard to the Buddha jewel, just having faith in one person multiplies your good karma. Gendin ni kasa mamba la tene sunam pewa. And with the Sangha, you are multiplying your karma by doing it with more people. There's more people. Buddha is one person. Buddha jewel is one person in this case. And Sangha jewel is many people, right? Roughly, Sangha jewel is anyone who understands the pen or better. Okay? Sunam Pelte, Sangye dan Gendo ni Kansaki wanda Chedang. Again, he says the Buddha and the Sangha are people, but Chuni Gansa Mayimbi wanda Chepe Sunam Pele Kepro. But with the Dharma jewel, you are multiplying your karma with something that's not a person, with an idea. Okay? De na Kamsa Dor na yang Sangela Kamsa Dor ni Chepara Rendo Joy Sambal Yin la Chuni Rangila Kepa Chepeso. So when you think about going for refuge to the Buddha, you're thinking about offerings. I don't like to say offerings because it reminds me of temples and only the monks can offer, you're not allowed to offer, and things like that. I like to think of it as thank you notes to the Buddha. Okay, it's just thank you notes to the Buddha. Okay, if someone really did something nice to you, then you give them thank you notes, right? And that's all. It's like can you hear me okay? It's okay? Okay. My ears are out, I don't know why. Okay. Chini rangila kepa chebeso. But the way to go to refuge to the Dharma jewel is just to understand the pen. And then you are taking refuge, okay? So it's not something you do with incense. It's not something you do on your knees in a temple. It's something you do when your husband yells at you when you come home. Or your wife, Mr. Dunn. Okay. All right. I kept saying husband, and then this guy in Guangzhou raised his hand. He said, "You don't mention wife ever. Wife also argue." Okay. Next is called going for shelter by accepting the shelter. Sumbake lame gone kyamsadro la sumte. Sange la kyap tembapo, cho la kyap ngue, kenen la kyam dupe dado sakenente. So there's an idea that you accept these as three refuges. You accept them as refuge, okay? First one, you accept the Buddha. This is interesting, okay? Listen, not as a refuge, but as the person who teaches you what is refuge, okay? So you go to the Buddha, you go for refuge to the Buddha, it means you go for refuge because he teaches you the pen. Okay? Got it? So you're not really, you're going to him because he's going to teach you the Dharma jewel. Okay? Chula Gyabngo. Gyabngo means that's the real refuge. Of the three, the real protection is number 2. Of the 3 jewels, the real protection is to understand the pen, understand the husband's coming from you. Okay? That's real protection. Why? Human nature is to respond to violence with violence. Your husband calls you stupid, you say, no, you're stupid. This is human nature, okay? And real protection, when you follow your human nature, you say back to the husband, Ni fantong, meo wu, meo wu? Not, 不是我 你反动 you're the rice bucket head. I'm not. Then that's human nature. When you do that, you hear yourself, and that plants another seed to have your husband yell at you. So it becomes a cycle, wheel of life. So the actual protection, the highest protection, is the idea that I shouldn't plant another seed. I don't want to plant another seed, okay? And you just shut up, okay? Is your husband a phantom? Yes. Is he stupid? Yes. All husbands are stupid. But you don't have to say it. Everybody knows it. Okay? Just don't say anything. Okay? Then you don't plant another stupid husband. Okay. And then you accept Sangha as your friends, people who can help you. Okay? Especially people who have seen emptiness. Question?
Yeah, I can't read the Tibetan. So
Yeah.
in your explanation of the pen and the two
Yeah.
husbands, we're doing both the dependent origination husband and the emptiness of the
Yeah.
second husband. We're doing all that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not just emptiness. That's
Right.
much more.
It assumes dependent origination also. Yeah. Hetzer pointed out that protection doesn't just involve emptiness, it also involves dependent origination, which in normal language means it doesn't just mean to understand there's no husband who's not my fault. It also means to understand there is a husband who is my fault. That's dependent origination. If you want to confuse people, call it dependent origination. If you want people to understand, call it my seeds created my husband. Okay? Same thing. Okay? If you give long, confusing words to the Dharma, it keeps many monks and nuns in business for a long time, including me. If you just use simple language, we have to play rock and roll and do something else. Okay. Berna ne mepe memba menda neyosuna rewachulu mindawasum. For example, you can think of the relationship that a sick person has to the doctor, to the medicine, and to the nurse or physician. Yeah. Okay? Got it? All right. Dena pandogichi regular kepana jikpa narele duwe kyabngu chiyin. Every time you understand a new idea of Buddhism, you are protected from one more bad thing. Every time you understand a new idea in Buddhism, you are protected from one more bad thing. Okay? In DCI, we call it a life tool or life idea for your life. There's 12 in each level. So far we have 95 or 6. Okay? Every time you learn one of those 95, you protect yourself from one bad thing. Okay? That's protection. Understanding is protection. Okay? Okay. All right. That means, by the way, that refuge ritual happens where? In your kitchen. In your heart, in your kitchen. Okay. Okay? It's not so much when Venerable Phil gave you vows or Venerable Jigme gave you vows. It's the real ritual that confirms you as a Buddhist happens in the kitchen when your husband yells at you. Okay? Got it? That's the real, that's when you get real refuge vows. Okay? Always, you guys are the next generation of teachers, and always try to think of ways that it doesn't become a ritual, that it becomes something people use in their home, in their work, with their children, with their parents, okay? Like that. Okay. The fourth section is called taking refuge by not agreeing to other kinds of protection, okay? Taking real protection by not agreeing to lower kinds of protection is the fourth instruction here, okay? And it's reflected in the first refuge vow, okay? It doesn't mean you have to swear you're a Buddhist, and then if you go to sneak into a church, you're a bad person or something. It doesn't mean that. It means solve your problems with seeds, achieve your goals with seeds, and don't waste your time on other stuff. First recourse, the first thing you try should be seeds. Okay? Then you're a Buddhist. Right? It doesn't mean you can't go to a doctor. Okay? It also doesn't mean you don't have to go to work. I heard somebody in China told their parents, Geshe Michael says, I just need seeds and I don't have to go to work. Okay. The seeds have to come through something. Okay. Plant seeds, get a job that you enjoy, and you'll be successful. Okay. If you're super Buddha, you don't have to go to work. Okay. But we're not super Buddha. Okay. All right. Shipa Shanti Mimawe Gone Kyamsadorni. Mun Gyagala Lopen Totsun Drupche. So there was two brothers in India who were acharyas, masters, and they started as non-Buddhists. If you care, one is named Udbata Siddhiswami, and the other is called Shankarapati. Kongni Wanchu Chirchir. So the god of their religion was named Indra. Okay. And Chechir, Riwo Kanchen Lasawana, and to make offerings to Indra, they climbed a mountain in the Himalayas. Then they saw Indra, but he was on his knees taking refuge vows from Buddha. So they said, whoa. Then they became Buddhists. What the heck? And they became great masters of the Mahayana teachings. They Sangiki Chewi Yenda Japa. And one of them wrote a famous poem, which is in the Tengyur, called Kebada Pakta, I bow to your greatness, or something like that. I bow to your extraordinary greatness. It's a very, very beautiful poem, and it's often quoted. Okay. All right. Rangre tembala kyamsin zinching de tembala lopani shen de gyomi tupa tembar sumadang. Ideally, we should reach a point where our understanding is so big that we're not interested in any other teacher, okay, than the Buddha, okay? And it doesn't mean you're a bad person if you like Jesus or Moses or Muhammad. It just means that the more you learn, the stronger you will admire what the Buddha taught, okay? And my personal belief is Tartuk Terpa Chikpa, which is what a Sangha taught, which is in the end they all go to the same place. So that's a Buddhist principle, Tartuk Tekpa Chik. Tartuk means in the end, Tekpa means path, Chik means it's all the same. Okay, it all leads to the same place. Okay, some paths are slower, some paths are faster. Okay, then your refuge will slowly become stronger and stronger. Okay, bandam mutekso chedile chiro de kyopala kyamsu minzin pate. The Buddhist word for non-Buddhist is outsider, okay? And if you continually take refuge in science or things that only work on a surface level, then actually chiro to gyurpa, you leave the Buddhist group, you become non-Buddhist. Okay, I mean, and it's very tricky, When I try to fix the air conditioner by taking it apart, I'm sort of alienating myself from Buddhism. And when I try to fix the air conditioner, as the child told me to, in New York at what's his name, Leon's place, if I go and try to help someone else with an air conditioning problem, then I confirm myself as a Buddhist. Okay. Nangba dang chiwe temba dang temba dang dela lope genden nang cho men kepa yang deni ne. If you want to kind of get a feeling of the difference of the Sangha between those who are trying to fix the air conditioner by helping others fix theirs, or those who are trying to take it apart, okay? By the way, do you have to take it apart? Yeah, but it won't get fixed unless you have someone else, okay? So you still have to fix my hot water. Okay. Okay. Dagni Tumba, now, I'll read you a poem. He quotes a poem. Dagni Tumba Shampangne, Chomden Kila Kapsuchi, De Chi Le de Shena, De Chi Le de Shena, Kye Mingala, Yenden Den. I'm going to leave other teachers for this time. I'm going to take refuge in you, Buddha. Why? Because you actually, everything you teach is right, and you don't teach anything wrong. Okay? Got it? Who wrote that? One of the two brothers. Okay? The brother that he was talking about. That's from his poem. Okay? Here's another line from that poem. Mutek shen shunglula jita jita nam sampa teta teta kunkyula daki semdin depalgyur. The more familiar I become with the teachings of science, etc., the more I believe in you. Okay? Like, we don't understand quantum physics or the general theory of relativity, and so we kind of think they know what they're talking about because they can blow up a city. But if you really study it, if you really, spend a few weeks with Wikipedia, by the end you'll reach, what's his name? Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, which is not really his, but it's still a cool principle, that they don't even know how light goes from the sun to the earth. They cannot agree, and there's no physical way to measure correctly how light comes from the sun to the earth, like a basic thing. How light comes from my face to your eyes, they can't understand. They can't explain it, because it acts two different ways according to who's watching. According to who's present, light that goes through a diffraction grating behaves either as a particle or as a wave. Contradictory, okay, depending on who's watching. Okay? And if you really study, you come down to that, which is the pen. Okay? All right. Here's another poem from another verse called The Praise of People Worthy of Praise. Juktan doba kalagdang, kune nyamon namjang kang, deni pao kyokadang, shengit siki kyepalang. O Lord Buddha, you hero, what's the difference between your teaching and the words of other people? You tell us what's good to do and what's wrong to do, what will make us happy and what will not make us happy, and I don't see it clearly elsewhere. Okay? That was written by a master named Mati Chitra. Okay. Pundir mutek pango mekyang. So there's a word called mutek, say mutek. This is the ancient Buddhist word for non-Buddhist. Okay. And it was from India. And I recently, in our translator class, we found, we translated the reason for the word tirthaka, mutek, and it means people who set up a little stool in the stream so they can wash away their sins, or something like that, tirthaka. So Pabonka says the days of tirthakas are gone. We don't see them in Tibet, you know. The classical non-Buddhist schools of India are gone. You can go to, I spent many years teaching at Shivananda Center in Bahamas. Once a year, for 10 years I went there once a year. And they're supposed to be teaching Tirthaka, Mutekpa, but the knowledge is almost gone. That system is almost gone. Okay. It's actually better in Tsongkhapa. He explains it more clearly when he teaches the other schools. Okay. Anyway, Tengdu Chepa Dan Kepa Ke Chepa Gashe Gala Tu. So I translated it. You meet people who encountered a problem, so they got into some weird stuff. It means you meet these kind of people. I don't know, I seem to meet them a lot in yoga classes. But they'll say, you know, I just found out that there was a snowstorm where I live, and I met this couple at this coffee shop, and they didn't have a place to sleep because the highway closed. So I said, you can stay at my, I'll find you a place to stay. And I found them a place to stay. And then they said, we have a big load of ayahuasca in our car. And would you like some? And I thought they meant jicama, which is a vegetable. And I said, I don't really like it that much. And it's some kind of drug, okay? It's popular nowadays. It's some kind of plant, I think, right? And people take it, and then they think they can see God or something like that. Okay, it's popular in America with young people right now. And a good friend of mine, Kevin, his daughter went to a ceremony to take it, and she died. Okay, during the ceremony, and she had her phone on, she had her video going, and you can see her die. So these are just people get into weird things, People say, oh, ayahuasca is the new thing, the new cool thing. She was beautiful. She sang a mandala during my 3-year retreat, I remember. She in Celtic, I think. She did the song in Celtic. Very beautiful woman. Very, very beautiful. So anyway, people get into weird stuff. Yang Kor Mang Dupadang. Then they attract many people because it seems like they have something special. Okay. Shengi Ngosum Chedu. Then, because they want to get attention from people, they want people to follow them. Bendan Laluchu Luk Tsun La Jupa La. So they start following some kind of weird, like, I don't know, what do you call that? Shaman stuff with ayahuasca drug or something like that, okay? And then everyone runs to the ceremony. A bunch of people died near us, Flagstaff, from a ceremony in a, what do you call it? Sweat lodge. Like, how many? I don't know. 3 people. So anyway, Sun la juba jimi nyamba didani kyabla ninjin chepa. If you go to refuge for something like that, like to a drug, then you're splitting your refuge, and then it weakens your refuge, okay? Or if you split it to science and seeds, like 50-50. I worked in a diamond company for 19 years. The owner was from Israel, and a very fine man. And every 6 months, I will give half my salary to saving those books and things like that. So he will write a check from the company as a donation, and then every time he'll say, I'll throw in an extra 10,000 from me. I'm like, wow, And then one day I asked him, I said, why are you so nice to me? Why do you always add money when I make those donations? He says, you never know who's right. maybe Jewish, maybe Buddhist. So anyway, don't split your attention, okay? Either accept science, or accept seeds. Science with seeds, okay? I like to call it accept science or accept science seeds. Accept aspirin is going to work by all the time, which is true. Accept that aspirin will work if you serve others. Okay, got it? But don't say whichever is, you never know which might be right. Kachik benga bunga che serken yokyang. Then he gets into a delicate question. It's can you kind of keep some of your old beliefs and use these new ones also? Okay, so many of us grew up Christian, for example, and I'm very happy with the church, and I had very beautiful, deep experiences in the church. Okay, so then some people will say, can I just do like 50-50? Che serken yokyang bungi tumbadan chudang. Then he says, examine who it is you're going for refuge to in that belief, and what's protecting you, and who's the people who are going to go on the journey with you. Okay? What is their Buddha Dharma Sangha? Okay? Study it. Okay? Tsen Mete. And he says, unless you have a very deep understanding in which I believe you can find those emptiness teachings in other faiths, okay, you'll be disappointed, okay, in the end. De Timbala Kyun Kunse Sokyan Den Minden. If you don't understand those other teachers' teachings deeply, you will be disappointed and you will find some problems there. Okay. And he says an interesting thing, and Kyabje teacher Rinpoche said this, and I wrote it down and kept it on my wall for many years. He said, if you're practicing something and it's not making you happier year by year, then something's wrong. Okay? If you're practicing something and it's not making you a better person and happier year by year, then something's wrong. Okay? Even Buddhism, even your practice of Buddhism. Genani sotana temba yinku chekyan de domgin mepe de singula yenden matsang. This is a thing where in Tibet there was some groups that were not Buddhist, but they wore Buddhist robes, and they have a blue robe, and they have their own kangir, but they stole it. It's the Buddhist kangir with the words, with the titles changed. You can see sometime if you check it. They just replaced Buddha's name with their teacher's name. Then we debated them once. They came, only once they came to debate with us. And, we have to say da-da-da-da churchen, which means, what about this example of this object? And the word is dharma, right? Object is called dharma. And they refused to say it. They said bunchen. They want to say, take this bun. They wouldn't say take this thing because the word for thing is also dharma. So they refused to say it. So they would say bunchan, we'd say chuchen. And then they only came once. Okay. Don't give maybe. So they don't have the vow tradition, unbroken tradition of vows that we have. Even though they may wear those clothes, that makes you think they might. The idea of taking refuge by trying to protect yourself by not answering your husband when he yells at you, right? Real refuge. They don't have it. They don't have it. They say, bow down to this God or bow down to this God. But they don't say, bow down to this idea that you shouldn't respond to violence with violence because you created it. And you will just create more. Okay? They don't have this idea. They say, bow down to this statue or bow down to this statue. Okay? Ben Pensin Chagdan Kitam Dela. Then he says, I'm not trying to criticize other religions and I'm not trying to make an argument. I'm just saying there's a difference between how we bow down to Buddha and how they bow down to their holy beings. When to Buddha, it's when we're in the kitchen having a fight with our husband. And it's not in the temple and bowing down to some statue, okay? It's different. He said it's just different. And if you ask them, do you bow down to the idea that there's a second husband in the kitchen that's not there? They'll say, that's crazy. Okay, got it? All right. We believe it's protection, ultimate protection. Okay, all right. When Jun Quebec Sungin Logyo Tsenden Namla Chungwata Bungi Kungjunda Yin Shepa Chepa Kelchewe. Then he says, in the case of Bon, this ancient shamanism of Tibet, you should check out also where it developed and how it developed, because there are books about that explain how it developed, how it started. Okay. Tuken Dhammabaja Sung Jukta Tamje Kung Dong Detsu Dutsu Dumba Lek Shishaki Minon Song Shepagui. Then there are books in Tibet called Siddhanta. Ben Kramer is translating one for our translation program. And they explain the sources and the beliefs of these ancient schools. Okay? I was teaching Hindu people, Sankhya people, their school in their ashram because they didn't understand it. And Tsongkhapa wrote a beautiful chapter about the belief of Sankhya system, Advaita. And it was cool, you know. They lost a lot of their beliefs, and Tsongkhapa recorded them. Okay. Dena bungi temba tawa sumkang chirapetagom sepadang. So these, basically, to put it into modern terms, the ideas of science infect everything we do. Okay, everything we believe, all the things we do during the day, we are trusting the idea that chemicals are the building block of reality. That's our viewpoint, everybody in this room. Cell phone mentality. Nangbe suram ne parkur de zunche jawasok tu chengawashine chungde. But a lot of the beliefs that are in India and Tibet came from early Buddhism. If you read the Yoga Sutra, and I memorized it in the Maitreya retreat, it's a conglomeration of Buddhism from the 3rd century. Okay? It's just a bunch of ideas from Buddhism put in one book. Then those become systems in themselves, and then they get very weird commentaries. Try to read a modern commentary of the Yoga Sutra. They're not going to protect you, okay? They're not going to help you with your husband in the kitchen. They're not going to help you with your business problems. You know, they're not going to help you meditate. Okay. Then there was a famous person who started a lineage in Tibet called Jigung, and his name was Rinchen Pel. So they have a belief in India. It's called, I forget what it's called, Andarja. the world was born from a cosmic egg. Okay, it's in the Hateva Pradipika, I think. Ngana Kepe Luktan Cha, and then this custom of making sacrifices, killing cows for religion, killing lambs for to take away the sins of Jerusalem, right? Which is funny because it just adds to the sins of Jerusalem. Wangchuk Soki Chepe Lux Nam. These ideas, Mute Gitawa Kalwayan, they're all mixed up with different, what do you call it? Primitive beliefs. Okay. Kadam Bruch